The sands of time have buried countless emperors, but Septimius Severus is not one of them. Born in Leptis Magna, a Roman province in Africa, his origins were modest. Yet he rose to command the respect of legions. He ascended to the highest office in Rome. This is the story of his rise and his war against the Parthians. Severus's path to power was not paved with privilege. By the time Commodus was assassinated, Severus was ready to seize power. The death of Commodus plunged Rome into chaos. Several contenders emerged, each vying for control of Rome. The year of the 5 emperors was a brutal civil war. Severus was a skilled general and shrewd politician. He understood the power of loyalty. He rewarded supporters and crushed opponents. His legions carried him to victory. They were the backbone of Roman might. Severus defeated his rivals one by one. His final victory came at the Battle of Lugdunum. The Roman Empire had a new emperor. Septimius Severus had claimed the throne. The Roman Empire under Septimius Severus stood at a crossroads. Severus, having secured his throne in blood, now cast his gaze eastward. He looked towards the ancient and powerful Parthian Empire. For centuries, Rome and Parthia had engaged in a delicate dance of diplomacy and warfare. The Parthians were a formidable foe. They were masters of mounted warfare. Their cavalry, renowned for their skill with bows and arrows, was a force to be reckoned with. The Parthian shot, a tactic where archers fired backwards while riding away, had become legendary. Their empire stretched from the Euphrates River to the Indus Valley. Rome had long recognized the threat posed by the Parthians. The relationship between these two titans was like a smoldering ember. Septimius Severus, a student of history, understood the significance of the Parthian threat. He also recognized the opportunity their empire presented. Severus was an ambitious ruler. He sought to solidify his dynasty. He aimed to expand the frontiers of Rome. He believed a decisive victory against the Parthians would cement his legacy. The Parthian Empire was not the monolithic entity it once was. Internal strife and succession disputes had weakened its grip on power. Severus saw this vulnerability. He saw an opportunity to exploit it. The political climate in the East provided Severus with the pretext he needed. The kingdom of Osroene, a Roman client state bordering the Parthian Empire, was experiencing unrest. The drums of war were beating. Severus understood that a war against Parthia would be a monumental undertaking. This was no mere border skirmish. It would be a clash of empires, a struggle for dominance in the East. He knew he had to prepare meticulously. His legions, though formidable, would be marching far from home. They would be facing a cunning and adaptable enemy. Severus oversaw a period of intense military build-up. He reinforced his legions with fresh recruits. He ensured they were well equipped and supplied. He appointed trusted generals to lead his armies. He also understood the importance of propaganda. He presented the war as a defensive measure. He argued that Rome was merely protecting its interests from Parthian aggression. The Roman Empire, under the resolute leadership of Septimius Severus, was ready for war. The year 197 AD marked the beginning of Septimius Severus's grand campaign. The Roman war machine, under his direct command, rumbled eastward. Dust rose from the marching feet of legions, a testament to Rome's military might. Their destination, the Parthian Empire. Severus understood the challenges of invading such a vast and hostile territory. He knew that logistics would be crucial. His legions would be operating far from Roman supply lines. They would have to live off the land and rely on their own ingenuity to overcome the challenges ahead. His first target was Nisibis. This strategically important city, located in Mesopotamia, served as a gateway to the Parthian heartland. Its capture would secure Severus's supply lines. The legions marched with purpose. They were confident in their ability to overcome any obstacle the Parthians threw their way. The arrival of the Roman legions before the walls of Nisibis sent a clear message. Rome was not interested in a border skirmish. Severus aimed to strike at the heart of the Parthian Empire. Nisibis, however, would prove to be a formidable obstacle. The city was well fortified. Its defenders were determined to resist the Roman onslaught. The siege commenced. Roman engineers, masters of siege warfare, set about constructing ramps and siege towers. They bombarded the city walls with catapults and ballistae. The defenders of Nisibis fought back with tenacity. Despite the fierce resistance at Nisibis, the outcome was never truly in doubt. Roman military discipline, coupled with their superior siege technology, proved to be too much for the defenders. After a protracted siege, Nisibis fell to Severus's legions. With Nisibis secured, Severus pressed his advantage. He marched deeper into Parthian territory, his legions advancing along the fertile banks of the Euphrates River. Their objective, Ctesiphon, the grand capital of the Parthian Empire. The capture of Ctesiphon would be a devastating blow to Parthian morale. Severus knew, however, that the closer he got to the Parthian capital, the fiercer the resistance would become. The Parthians, masters of mounted warfare, were unlikely to engage in a direct confrontation with the heavily armed Roman legions. Severus, anticipating this tactic, adapted his own strategies. The Parthians, though initially caught off guard by the speed and ferocity of the Roman advance, were far from defeated. They may have lost Nisibis, but their spirit remained unbroken. Their cavalry, led by skilled nobles, shadowed the Roman legions. They launched hit-and-run attacks, aiming to disrupt the Roman supply lines and chip away at their morale. They were masters of the feigned retreat, drawing the Romans into ambushes. Their arrows, tipped with deadly accuracy, found gaps in the Roman armour. Severus, however, refused to be drawn into a protracted guerrilla war. He understood that time was not on his side. He needed a decisive victory, a knockout blow that would shatter Parthian resistance. He found his opportunity at the Battle of Ctesiphon. The sun beat down on the Mesopotamian plain, a silent observer to the clash of empires. The Roman legions, arrayed in their disciplined formations, stood ready. Their shields, a wall of steel, reflected the harsh sunlight. Before them, a vast sea of Parthian cavalry, their banners fluttering in the wind, waited for the order to charge. The fate of empires hung in the balance. The Parthians, confident in their equestrian skills, struck first. Like a storm breaking, their cavalry surged forward. They moved with a fluidity and speed that belied their numbers. Their arrows, launched with deadly accuracy, sought out weak points in the Roman lines. The Roman infantry, disciplined and unwavering, held their ground. Severus, ever the strategist, had anticipated the Parthian tactics. He had ordered his legions to form a hollow square, a defensive formation designed to repel attacks from all sides. Severus, sensing an opportunity, unleashed his own cavalry. The Parthians, their initial momentum broken, found themselves on the defensive. The Battle of Ctesiphon raged for hours. The air was thick with the smell of sweat, blood, and dust, but as the sun began its descent, the tide turned decisively in Rome's favour. The Parthian attack, lacking its initial ferocity, began to falter. Severus, seizing the moment, ordered a general advance. The Roman legions, their discipline unbroken, surged forward with renewed vigour. The Parthian lines, unable to withstand the relentless Roman pressure, finally buckled. Ctesiphon, the jewel of the Parthian Empire, lay exposed. The Romans, flushed with victory, stormed the city. The fall of Ctesiphon sent shockwaves throughout the Parthian Empire. The victory at Ctesiphon marked the high point of Severus's Parthian campaign. It cemented his reputation as a skilled military commander and a ruthless emperor. The spoils of war flowed back to Rome, bolstering the imperial treasury and funding Severus's ambitious building projects. The captured Parthian territory was reorganized into new Roman provinces. Roman administrators and colonists followed in the wake of the legions, eager to exploit the riches of the East. Severus, ever mindful of the importance of securing his legacy, established a new legion, the Legio III Parthica, to garrison the newly conquered territories. The victory over the Parthians also had a profound impact on Roman society. Severus, hailed as a conquering hero, used his newfound prestige to further consolidate his power. The Parthian campaign, however, had come at a cost. A Parthian empire unbroken, resilience and transformation. The Parthian Empire, though shaken by the Roman invasion, proved to be more resilient than Severus had anticipated. The vastness of their territory and the decentralized nature of their empire made it difficult for the Romans to establish complete control. The Parthian nobility, though defeated in battle, retained much of their authority. They retreated to their ancestral lands, regrouped, and began to plot their revenge. They understood the Roman way of war. They knew that time and patience were on their side. The Parthian Empire, though weakened, was far from finished. It would continue to be a major power in the East for centuries to come. The Romans, despite their victory, would never fully conquer the Parthians. Septimius Severus, the emperor from the sands of Africa, left an indelible mark on the Roman world. His reign, a whirlwind of military campaigns, political reforms, and ambitious building projects, stands as a pivotal era in Roman history. The Parthian War, his most ambitious military undertaking, offers a glimpse into the complexities of his rule. It reveals his strategic brilliance, his ruthless pragmatism, and his unwavering determination to secure his legacy. The triumphal arches, still standing in Rome, serve as enduring monuments to his victory. They depict scenes of Roman legions clashing with Parthian cavalry, of captured cities and subjugated peoples. They are a testament to the power of Roman arms, a celebration of imperial might. But these monuments, for all their grandeur, also hint at the cost of empire. They speak of the countless lives lost, both Roman and Parthian, in the pursuit of glory and conquest. They remind us that victory, however resounding, often comes at a steep price. The legacy of Septimius Severus is one of triumph and tragedy, of ambition and bloodshed. The Parthian War, though a resounding Roman victory, did not mark the end of the Parthian Empire. The Parthians, a resilient and adaptable people, proved to be a thorn in Rome's side for centuries to come. They would rise again, their cavalry emerging from the eastern plains to challenge Roman dominance. The conflict between these two empires would continue, a recurring theme in the long and tumultuous history of the ancient world. The Parthians, through their resistance, forced the Romans to adapt. They exposed the limitations of Roman military doctrine, highlighting the challenges of maintaining a vast empire in the face of determined opposition. The Roman Empire, for all its might, would never fully conquer the Parthians. The eastern frontier would remain a zone of conflict, a crucible where Roman legions tested their mettle against the skilled horsemen of the steppes. The Parthian legacy lived on, not just in their own enduring empire, but also in the challenges they posed to Roman power. Septimius Severus's reign marked a turning point in Roman history. He was the first emperor in generations to expand the empire significantly. His victory over the Parthians shifted the balance of power in the east. It ushered in a period of Roman dominance. Severus was a ruler who understood the use of force. He was a ruthless pragmatist, consolidating his rule and securing his dynasty. His reign hinted at future challenges for the Roman Empire. The Parthian War stretched Roman resources thin. It exposed the logistical difficulties of maintaining a vast empire. The seeds of future instability were sown during Severus's reign. His legacy is a complex one, woven from military triumph and political cunning. He left an undeniable mark on a world on the cusp of profound change. Want more epic tales? Check out the channel for more information and hundreds of other history videos. Thank you for watching.